This week in the movie, a firefighter battled a raging inferno wearing a jacket with the word Edmonton on the back. He had his extra protective gear thanks to firefighters in Edmonton, Canada, who have been donating to Ukrainian firefighters for several years now. So I want to bring in Kevin Royal, a firefighter with Edmonton Fire Rescue. He is the founder and project director of a group called Firefighter Aid Ukraine. Kevin, I really appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much for what you're doing. And let's talk to the world about the great work that you're doing. You and your team volunteer daily at a Ukrainian donation warehouse in Edmonton, preparing boxes of equipment and gear that will be sent over here. I saw firsthand the good that your equipment does. How does it make you feel seeing your equipment in action?
You know, I guess it was midday that I got a phone call from a firefighter in Calgary that about 300 kilometers south of us that we work with, and he said, "Tell me you're watching CNN right now." I logged in really quickly, and I saw the gear there. And to be honest, I wasn't really surprised because we receive images and videos all the time about our gear being used in evolutions and in emergency situations. And I guess I've never seen it used in this type of scenario in a theater of war or anything. But I was happy to see it being used the way it's supposed to be. It was intended to keep a firefighter safe, so they can go home to their families and their duties protecting life, property, and environment. So I was happy to see it being used. I wasn't really surprised, but I was a little disheartened that it was being used in that type of a scenario in a wartime.
Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, speaking about that, I know firefighters risk their lives all the time. They run towards the danger. I was just, amazed and inspired by those guys running into that inferno in that gear. And you believe still they need more equipment. They don't have the adequate equipment now. Am I wrong?
That's right. I mean, we saw them all running in there. They may have had the jackets and stuff, helmets, but I didn't see a single SCBA, a breathing apparatus, on a single one of those firefighters, right? So they do need more help, that's for sure.
You've been doing this for how long?
Well, it will be 10 years ago this spring that I made my first trip to Ukraine with Rotary Group Study Exchange. And it was then that I saw the conditions that firefighters and first responders were working in. And shortly after that, I returned home and we were going through an equipment swap out. And I made a pitch to my then Chief Ken Block and Deputy Chiefs Gaylor and Lefebvre to try to get some of that gear. And they liked the plan. So it was about 2 years later that our first deployments shipped out to Ukraine. So I'd say it's about 8 years. And we've shipped out thousands of sets of bunker gear, literally from all over the world. Not just bunker gear, we've shipped over equipment, tools, medical supplies, but hundreds of sets of bunker gear just like that one in that video. And actually, oddly enough, there's actually 2 sets of bunker gear in that footage. One has the Edmonton wording on it, and one has the wording removed from it. You can actually see the silhouette of the panel that was removed if you look closely.
Yeah. So now what? Because I know you come often. What's your plan for?
Well,
are you planning a fundraiser for Ukraine?
Yeah. We just, it was 2 weeks ago that we shipped a plane load of 14 tons of equipment, and Lviv was one of those communities that received some of that gear. And I was able to confirm that just days before that fire, they had received the equipment that was allocated to them. And we've already started collecting more equipment, and we're holding a fundraiser in Edmonton with the Alberta Ukrainian Chamber of Commerce. So we're holding a fundraiser. We're gonna, as long as there's a need and as long as there's support here, we'll continue doing what we're doing.
Kevin Royal, you're a good man, and thank you for everything that you do there in your daily life and everything you've done for the firefighters of Ukraine, really, and for the world. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for being over there in Ukraine. It can't be an easy task yourself, so thank you.
We'll be right back.